Hi, I'm Olivia Hayes, 32 years old, born and raised in Denver, Colorado. And this is the story of how my husband, Jason Miller, built a beautiful life with me in the daylight while hiding a second one in the dark. But when the truth came out, I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I planned, and my revenge became the one thing he never saw coming. My marriage wasn't perfect, but for the longest time, I believed Jason and I were solid. He was charming, career-driven, and the kind of man who held the door open for strangers and pretended he cared about everyone. The kind of man everyone admired. But people like him, they know how to wear masks. And unfortunately, I didn't know that his had two sides. I worked as a medical billing manager, stable job, steady hours. Jason, on the other hand, worked in real estate. That career alone should have been a red flag. Late hours, constant client dinners, random out-of-state conferences that popped up out of nowhere. But love makes you blind, and stupidity makes you trust. One night, I was cleaning his office because we had guests coming over the next morning. I stumbled across a drawer I'd never seen him open. Inside was a credit card statement under a name I didn't recognize, Haley Mercer. The first thing I thought was, he's using a fake name for work. Maybe some real estate business thing. But when I saw hotel receipts, flower shop orders, and a weekend trip to Miami, everything inside me froze. I remember whispering, please don't let this be what I think it is. But the universe doesn't listen when you beg. The next day, I called the hotel pretending to be Mrs. Mercer. The woman at the front desk confirmed it casually. Oh yes, Mr. and Mrs. Mercer stayed here last month. My stomach dropped. My husband of 6 years had a whole second identity, and apparently a whole second wife. The first instinct was to confront him right away. But then, I stopped myself. If he was bold enough to make a fake married identity, what else could he be hiding? So, instead of attacking, I acted for 3 weeks. I pretended everything was normal. I made his favorite dinner. I laughed at his jokes. I kissed him goodnight, because every time he believed I was clueless. I collected another piece of evidence. Screenshots of texts, pictures of receipts, emails, phone logs, GPS data. And then the ultimate bomb, a marriage certificate under the name Haley Mercer. Not legally filed, but enough to show he played house with her. Enough to destroy his reputation in real estate, where trust matters more than anything. One afternoon, I waited outside the Pilates studio Jason told me he was investing in. Haley walked out wearing the kind of confidence that only comes from believing you're the only woman in a man's life. She had long brown hair, a perfect smile, and expensive taste in handbags. She looked like the type of woman Jason would cheat with someone who fed his ego. I approached her calmly. Hi, you don't know me, but I know Jason. Her smile fell instantly. She whispered, you're Olivia. So she knew about me, but she still played along with him. That changed things. Now it wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation. I took a deep breath. Let's ruin him together. Her jaw tightened. You want revenge too? I nodded. More than anything, over coffee, I learned everything. Jason had told her I was controlling and emotionally unstable. He told her I refused to give him kids. He told her our marriage was basically over, and worst of all, he promised her a life once the divorce was finalized. A divorce I had never even heard of. But then Haley told me something that changed the entire game. Jason had invested nearly $200,000 in a property that wasn't legally his. He forged paperwork, faked signatures, lied to investors. Fraud, serious fraud. Haley said she had been uncomfortable with it, but Jason convinced her the money would triple once the project launched. I realized then this wasn't just about cheating. He was committing crimes, thinking no one would ever expose him. But now to women he betrayed had the truth. And trust me, there is nothing more dangerous than a woman who knows she has nothing left to lose. The plan took 3 days. 3 beautiful, calculated days. Step 1. Haley and I gathered every document that could prove his fake identity, fraud, and affair. Step 2. We sent everything anonymously to the Real Estate Licensing Board, the investors, his company's HR, the DAS office, and my favorite part, his mother, who worshipped him like he was Jesus 2.0. Step 3. I transferred half our savings into my own account, legal, because it was marital property. Then I filed for divorce, right before sending him a text that simply said, check your email and don't come home. 10 minutes later, he called. 10 missed calls, then 20, then 30. Then a voicemail where he was screaming, begging, threatening, and crying all at once. I didn't listen. I was too busy packing my suitcase. Within a week, Jason lost his job, his license, his investors, his reputation, his second life, and eventually his freedom. Turns out, committing fraud worth 6 figures gets you more than just divorce papers. Jason once told me I was too soft to survive without him. I guess prison walls are great for self-reflection. Maybe he'll think about that line every night on his cot. As for Halishi and I, aren't friends. We don't text, we don't talk. But we did share one moment of justice, and honestly, that's enough. And that Reddit is how the man who thought he could run 2 lives ended up with none. If you enjoyed my story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. More real-life revenge stories coming soon.